we should now be live. Good evening, everybody. I'm just checking everything's working correctly. And it would appear to be. Good.
At the dawn of time, the county's first citizens looked to the stars and thought, what's going on over there? In some sense, we've come a long way. We no longer, most of us anyway,
Hello, Rob.
believe that the sky is a massive ceiling.
Hello,
Or
Berenson.
that the moon is
My
the
day
sun's
has
evil
been
twin.
interesting. Let's put
But in
it
other
like
ways,
that.
including literally, we're exactly where we started.
So, let me just introduce what we're doing today. Today's job is...
as little as possible at all times.
Today's job is to start building a proper sandbox museum on this rather unique map here, which is probably one of the most unique ones in this game. Hello, she. But yeah, I wanted to get building our proper sandbox park today. But yes, today has been an interesting day. Me and, or rather, us at Triclaw, we attempted to record a tea with Triclaw the other day. And let's just say it didn't go particularly well. When I went and listened back to the footage, it was full of so many audio errors because I think my mic has developed a fault with the USB cable. So I was so aggravated about basically having to throw away an entire set of recordings that I practically dragged Dane. I practically dragged Dane out of bed. Yeah, quite literally. And we went off to Milton Keynes, which is the nearest big town, and we went on a bit of an expedition to go get the new cable, which in itself was a bit of an arse because we went first to a PC and electronics place, and they didn't do the cables we needed, so we had to go to a completely different place to go and grab them. But we did eventually get them. And I now have both the right audio cable and the right internet cable. Now I'm hoping the internet cable will sort out some of the random disconnect problems we've been having. I'm now using a Cat 5e. Yeah. And hopefully the audio issue has also been solved. So yeah, bit of a day today. And yes, Zhao, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's get the museum started firstly. So I'm thinking this part of the museum, we're going to need somewhere for our staff, which I'm thinking maybe we'll have that at the back because this is the smallest bit. How do I... yeah, we'll have this back area. This will be the staff room section or staff section. We do also need to put some choppers in here as well. So where are our choppers? Not buildings. Ah, helipad. Okay. So I'm thinking like here. Okay, we can't put more than one in yet. That's fine. Yeah, I agree with Rob. The situation with with Swerve, we'll talk about that in a minute. But I do agree with what Rob says, that we should definitely be respectful about the situation.
Did you just go and say Swerve and then read she's the
Look,
yeah.
look, you know how I get when I'm concentrating on multiple things. But yeah, today I thought let's have a break from Dinosaurs and do a little bit of 2 Point Mueseum, because I haven't actually done any 2 Point Mueseum stuff for a while. So that's going to be, this is going to be like our staff area, and we'll probably have at least 1, 2 choppers here, maybe 3 if we can fit them. But we'll have our staff training and that in there. I'm thinking obviously we're going to need some extra doors here. So one of the annoying things about this game is it can be really tricky about the placing of doors. So you always have to build a little bit off from like the actual border. That was a weird word. Also, that's gonna eternally annoy me. The flipping is asymmetrical. That's very annoying. You guys know I absolutely hate asymmetry. It's one of the reasons why I don't tend to get on with a lot of like Japanese made stuff. Asymmetrical games. Asymmetrical like armor and stuff. Why is that?
You get 1 armor poultry.
Why is that not letting me build that there? It's enough away, surely. No, apparently that particular door just needs to be slightly further away than that particular door. That's weird. Well, I don't like them not being equal, so... Okay. Door is a door. Yeah. I'm never gonna live down what I did to Fallout in Baldur's Gate 3 the other day anyway. Hello, Evo. They are very satisfying. I must say, it's a little bit quiet, actually. I'm going to turn it up a bit. I suppose we really should get to going on an expedition, really, shouldn't we? Scratchy Basket. What a name! Scratchy Basket. Right, let's hire Scratchy Basket. And then we'll send Scratchy Basket off to go do an expedition for us.
Ricky Hawthorne on 2 Point Radio. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Whatever the sun's doing, it looks like easy listening here on 2 Point Radio. I'm going to sit still during this next song and wait for you to come back.
Guests should buy a ticket at a ticket booth.
Let's
And if
turn
we
the
had
grid
one,
lines on.
I'm sure they would.
So I think we need like a nice sort of entrance area going on here. Why is that not letting me have one there? What's going on? That's weird. Do we want to go angled? How big does this entrance area need to be? Let's go outer. Let's go out. Angle it out.
Staff should seek medical attention in the museum before going to a hospital.
Then we'll cut back in. There we go. There's our entrance, as it were. The Walking with Dinosaurs Spinosaurus design just got revealed. Why do they reveal these things at the worst times?
Paying guests are waiting to enter. Don't we need a ticket booth?
Yes, we do need a ticket booth. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. I think kind of tempted to put the booths on the side. It has Spino babies. But are they as cute as Prehistoric Kingdom's Spino babies? That's the real question. One there, and is that correct? Is that symmetrical? No, it doesn't look it. This one needs to be a little bit further in, I think. Yes, that's correct.
Guests found poking the exhibits will be poked by me.
What? I'll drop into the Giga Chat for you. What's Giga Chat? Hang on. Quite potentially. Oh! Interesting color scheme it has. Very similar to something else we've seen lately. Illustrated by... Oh, is that the book cover? Because it says it's illustrated by someone. So... sometimes I do...
Not this again.
It is the book cover. But yeah, it's a very similar color scheme to Rebirths, isn't it? I'm not going to say they've copied Rebirth's color scheme, but it's very interesting that it's the same. Why won't you let me put a partition wall in there? I don't want there to be a gap here. This is the staff area. Oh, I think I know why. I think, if I remember correctly, this game has a little bit of an issue with placing walls after you place something else. You kind of have to place the
Guests
thing.
are reminded not to litter the museum. You seem to need reminding.
No, okay. That's very aggravating. Can I do it the other way around then? Can I put them right next to each other? Apparently not. They really need to sort that problem out. The sassy announcer lady is like it's a staple of the 2 Point series.
It's time for a hungry hint from Chef Ricky, my alter ego with a passion for produce. There's nothing like a hot meal, or is there? Warming your food can take anywhere from 5 minutes to 5 hours. But sometimes you want something piping hot, and you want it promptly. That's when I heat my cutlery instead. Each bite is a scorching hot risk, or you'll want oven mitts, but you won't look back. Like a hot knife through butter. Hot cutlery is better.
We'll just have to...
Is someone going to open that crate? Just saying.
Ah, sassy lady. I'm trying to do the reception area. It's bugging me that I can't get it to do what I want it to do. Maybe this way it will be accepted? No. Invalid collision partition wall. I don't... Okay, so you're fine with it there, but not there. Why not? No. Very peculiar. Right. What we're going to do is that this bit here is going to be like a staff.
Announcement. Staff in need of medical attention. Thank you.
What? Staff in need of medical attention? Sounds concerning. Why are you invalid item location? You're perfectly happy with it on the other side. See, it's very fucking
The
annoying.
museum apologizes for all the litter, but I'm not sorry. Not
It's like
anymore.
everything has to be built on halves, and it's just really aggravating. I need to just accept it won't be perfect and carry on. Okay. It's not going to be perfect, but there's nothing that can be done about it. I wonder if it's maybe because of the type of thing I'm using, actually. It does look so
Announcement.
shit.
Guests should wait
I'm not happy
patiently
with that.
while we remember
Hello,
to
Walking
move
with
the
Birds.
ticket booth. Thank you.
Maybe it's just because we were using the wrong booth. Well, that seems to be accepted more. I think it's that particular component.
One and a half is large. That's the issue.
They need to fix that. There we go. That's less. That's a lot less shit. Right. We've had a crate delivered, haven't we? We better open that. The honeyed bee, a giant bee, ironically preserved in giant honey. Not the bees!
Staff should seek medical attention in the museum before going to a hospital.
Yeah, unfortunately, our paleontologist has got covered in tar, so we better build a staff room. Why are they talking about sausage? I mean, it's she, I shouldn't be surprised, but... Make sure they've got a nice, comfortable, relaxing area to chill, have snacks.
Litter does not belong on the floor, and yet here we are.
Litter does not belong on the floor, and yet here we are. Let's actually move this. No, I want the chair. Give me the chair. Thank you. I like the fact that the staff rooms, you're not allowed to give them plants. Like, you're not allowed to... Oh, yes, you can. I just forgot you have to unlock some. You can also unlock rugs. Let's give them a rug. We'll unlock the large octagon rug.
Ship's silent secret is longer exposure to air for that unique, soggy texture that'll inspire your taste buds and spare you your co-workers' grumbles. Shh, just don't tell anyone. Ship's silently delicious.
I think we probably also want to give them, like, staff toilets. We don't want them
Announcement. Staff in need
having to
of
share.
medical attention. Thank you.
Staff lavatories. Let's unlock the posters. I like to have things to put up. Hand sanitizer. Hand dryer. Right, so staff room and staff bathroom. That'll keep people happy. Just realised I am actually losing money. I should probably pause the... I think we'll go for the bog standard wooden flooring for our staff areas. I don't want to use the same wooden flooring in here though. Let's give them carpet in the staff room. Let's go for... Alright, yeah. To edit the floors of the rooms, I have to use the room customization. I keep forgetting that. Cave floor. Creepy carpet. It's not very creepy. Oh, that's tiles. That's very cold. I'll go with the red. The red looks okay. Right. So who's scared of America? Let's not get too political in here. Not to mention, I'm not scared of America. I'm scared at what they're doing. Right. What kind of tiles should we have? Or should we have, like, wooden flooring? I don't really like the wooden flooring. Smart green? No. That's an interesting combo. Mottled green. I kind of like that, actually. Let's just fill the rest in. And then I feel like we should have like a kind of carpeted walkway. Creepy carpet. Red carpet, diamond green. No, that's tile. Crimson carpet. Kind of don't want green on green. Teal? I quite like the patterned red. We'll go with the patterned red. I like that. Yeah, let's not get dragged into a slagging match about America. I think we can all agree that everyone's countries have been doing some very silly things recently. No one country is you know, doing brilliantly right now, and we as the everyday person, we're the ones suffering. I think everyone is suffering apart from the rich prats that are not. Let's just be all angry at the rich people and leave it at that. Why won't you let me why is that wall not working? That's a bit weird. No. It's not picking up that wall that I placed down. Let's put it back in. There we go. I think 2 Point have some work to do on fixing the bugs and such about this particular game. I kind of want a sort of rope or some sort of oh, let's unlock these. Like classic sort of rope partitions here. We can put something in here to like show off. got some displays, I think. Info stands, decorations. I mean, we're not specifically going to be any one particular type of museum. So let's go for like a dinosaur one on that side, and we'll have like a botany one on that side, and maybe have like the UFO one in the middle. Yeah. And let's change this one to like the dinosaur, and we'll change this one to... Yeah, we'll keep the man-eating plant. And this one... Yeah, we'll do the planets of things. They look pretty good. Pineapple is good for men. Yes, it is, Roberth. Yes, it certainly is. And we're going to leave that right there. I wish the music and stuff would play even if you didn't have the game running. Right. Let's hire a couple of assistants. Piglet. And Theodore Meringue. Meringue. We're also going to need a janitor, so we'll hire Dotty Biscotti. And we're going to need a security guard. We'll hire Strudel. Also, I quite like the idea of poppy corruption. But we'll hire Howard Curtains as well. Right, and then I'm thinking, like, if we have the exits off either side of this hall in, like, these angled bits. So let's do... let's have, like, just standard rock archway here. And the same... It's kind of roughly in the middle. So there. And then we can have, like, our first areas over here. Probably want to send off another expedition.
Ricky Hawthorne on 2 Point Radio.
Right.
Ricky Hawthorne back on 2 Point Radio. How are you diddling? I'd planned to speak to esteemed author and genuine fluffball Bartholomew F. Yeti, but he's still not responded to my various letters. Shame. I thought he might turn up last minute. What are the odds of being ignored 78 days in a row? I'm starting to think that BF Yeti, the Pointy Mountains, is not a full address.
Thank you for visiting the museum. Are you not done yet?
Okay.
Announcement. Exhaustive expeditions may be exhausting.
Obviously, we're going to need some areas for our initial fossils. And I think if I have a look at our inventory, we've got a UFO satellite and we've got the honeyed bee. So I think we'll start with this area being prehistoric, I think. Why did it fill the whole place? No. No, that's not what I asked you to do. Ooh, we now have some, like, new flooring types. Interesting.
Staff
Yeah,
requires medical
I
attention.
totally didn't
Not
mean
this
for that
again.
to do that. Oh well. Why? Is it because... Strange. strange. Building on diagonals is hateful. I love how chat is making me hungry right now.
Not the only one.
Attention. Staff threatening to leave. Please check if you care.
Access to.
It is indeed very dangerous. Okay. Let's put our first thing in here. Let us start with the honeyed bee. It's actually quite a good quality honey bee. Actually, want to make sure there's a bit of a divide here.
Guests are reminded
There we
not to litter the museum. You seem to need reminding.
You seem to need reminding. What shall we have as the... maybe... cave? Sir, what are you doing to my... Did you see that? He was climbing on the display. We'll go with the Aztec things. I think they make sense.
Staff requires medical attention. Not this again.
Not this again. Honestly, okay, haggis is one of those foods I cannot understand how people dare eat haggis. I'm like, how can you stomach eating a stomach?
I see
It's
what
just,
you did there.
I know, right? Like, how can anyone, like, oh, it'll be fine, it just fills me with dread, the very idea of haggis.
Announcement. Crates should be opened,
Plus,
not
I
left
like
waiting.
right?
Now then, to get the maximum out of our displays, you have to make sure the surrounding area is decorated. And it says we need to make sure there are hanging amber decorations nearby. So I think it makes sense to have a couple maybe next to our way in.
Litter does not belong on the floor, and yet here we are.
That litter warning is my sassy museum assistant telling me
I'll
I
leave
need to
you
put
with
down
today's
bins.
news. Where is Mayor Tabitha Windsock? Have you seen her? One thing's for sure, the people of Duckworth upon Bilge have no idea.
Ah, the original mobile home.
Yes, the mayor's office had shared pictures of the mayor's recent visit to the town of Duckworth, but it turns out they were from 6 years ago. In an adrenaline rush of reveals, the mayor's last half-dozen public appearances have been exposed as not having happened. Will she appear again, or do we have a digital mayor stuck in the pictureverse? Keep it dialed to 2 Point Radio for all the latest.
Needs to be kept in a dry environment. It is in a dry environment. Is it because there's water nearby? Okay. No. What's wrong then? Requirement dry climate. I've never encountered this one before. Does that mean I have to put down like a
Frequently asked
kernel?
questions. Yes, some dinosaur skeletons are mix and match. That's just good science.
Let's return it to inventory. Just see if that was just bugs. No, okay. It says it needs a dry climate. It's indoors? How much drier can you get? Like, what? Dehumidifier. Do I have to have a dehumidifier? I do. I have to have a dehumidifier near it. How peculiar. Does that mean I can place the water back near it like I had last time? There we go. Because, you know, the water is kind of an Ammonite's thing. Very strange.
Guests are reminded not to make this about them.
Okay. We're still losing money, but that's primarily because we don't have, like, very, Our janitor is not doing a very good job of dealing with all these. Remove the puddles. How much of a mess that one
The museum
paleontologist.
apologizes for all the litter, but I'm not sorry. Not anymore.
There isn't loads of litter about. Okay, I'll put a few bins down. Now maybe she might shut up. We need a bigger. So we need some bigger fossils here. Apparently there's some other ones we haven't yet discovered.
The expedition team are departing now. I'm always so glad that I don't have to go.
Now we're probably going to need to think about like something for the guests. You know, they need like guest bathroom, restaurant, that sort of thing. I love the fact that it's warning me there's lots of jobs for janitors around, and I'm like, I literally just hired some because they weren't doing the job. Okay, so I'm thinking it makes sense to have like a cafeteria maybe roughly in the middle.
Children found talking to me, and therefore breaking regulations, will be humoured begrudgingly.
I wish that was a real regulation. Okay, this will be the cafeteria. And we'll have like the entrance there. And we'll have an entrance there.
Under this ceaseless sun, the vegetation thrives, but everything we have is spoiled. Return to a world of legend and lamb chops with even bigger stakes. The greengrocer grows too strong. Age-old enemies will meet again. You can't stop him this time! Meat Wizard! Meat Wizard and the rotten beef, coming eventually to the Bungle Button Master. Where the games be happening.
Where the games be happening.
Expedition team returning from Bone Belt.
This game can be weird. I'm just gonna put it like that. We're probably gonna need to hire a few more assistants. Jock Lost and Dahlia Black. Nope, Cassandra Buzzkill. How's English food like, walking with birds? I love English food. I think English food gets a bad rap, if I'm honest, and I'm not sure why. Like, I can understand Britain getting a bad rap in general because of the whole, you know, colonizing thing. But I don't understand why our food gets a bad rap. It's not that bad.
Assistant to the cafe. That's where you work now.
Red, what shall our flooring in here be like? I think we'll go for something like really posh. Oh, that's a bit American diner. I don't want that. Ooh, kind of like that actually. You can make the walls like something that's a lot lighter than the floor. That's not lighter than the floor, is it?
Announcement. Staff in need of medical attention. Thank you.
I mean, I kind of like that for the walls, but maybe the floor is a bit dark. So maybe we'll lighten the floor up a bit. Maybe we'll go for like the dapples. Blue? Ooh. Actually that. We'll go with that. That works. We boiled everything. I mean, I think it is potentially across. I think she is correct there with it being potentially related to our
Guests are reminded
wartime
to enjoy
escapades.
Their visit. We can't do it for you.
I do remember there being a recipe for a toast sandwich, and even the recipe said that it was a thoroughly unsatisfying, horrible thing to eat. I think it is probably, you know, the war and the fact that we did have rationing for a long time, even post-war. But these days, I think British food is pretty damn good. But then again, I suppose it depends what you mean by British food, because I'm not even really sure what you would call British food. And I've lived in Britain all my life, and I can't explain what
Staff
British
should
food is.
seek medical attention in the museum before going to a hospital.
Well, there was a hanging. Yeah, any prehistory decoration could do with a little bit more buzz. Let's let's unlock the fossil decal. And let's change the decal to good old trilobite. I mean, sausages and mash, just such a good hearty winter.
While the toilets are not on display, they should be treated like they are. Thank you.
Ah, that's a good point. I should probably provide some bathrooms for our guests. There you go. Guest bathroom. Right, we need to get some more exhibits in here. There's one more fossil that we haven't found from here yet.
Guests should leave with the same
Cheesy
number of bones
beans
they
on
arrived with.
toast.
No more, no less.
See, I'm really picky with some food types. Like, I will not have cheese on pasta. I cannot stand cheese on pasta. I just feel it ends up, like, really stodgy. Some foods. Oh, I don't like white beans. I don't like white beans. I feel like we need a gift shop somewhere. I don't want to put it here. Hang on. Hang on. This will now be our gift shop.
Guests are reminded to memorize something, in case someone asks. That would be embarrassing.
Interesting that the one in here isn't going off. Huh. It's a little bit annoying to me that you can't have rooms on a diagonal. Okay, let's change this around, because obviously I want it to look good. So let's get rid of that.
Staff requires medical attention. Not this again.
Okay, where shall we have... Makes sense to have them here. Maybe it makes sense to have them over here. Where we... No. We'll put them over here. For the time being, we only need to have some of these here. Put 3 of those in, just to get the room made.
Assistant to gift shop. Sell, sell, sell.
Oof. A bit of texture clip in there. There we go. We're still not making much money, which is a concern. Yeah, thank God you can speak without sounding Essex-y, because the Essex accent is not an intelligent one. And I don't think anyone can deny that. And starfish fossil. I suppose really this should go with the...
Announcement. Staff in need of medical attention. Thank you.
What? This also needs a dry climate. Okay. So it is going to have to go. I've never encountered the dry climate thing.
Hi, I'm Hayley Von Trowell, and you're listening to Digging Deeper, the show that covers all things related to archaeology, science, and genre-bending video games. We kick things off with a listener's question from Rosa Skivyslogger, who asks, who would win in a triathlon, a tortoise or a sloth? Joining me now to answer your question is Professor Hamish Curlybags from Pebbly Frog Sanctuary. Welcome, Professor.
A pleasure to be here, Hayley. You know, in a straight triathlon, I'd have to give the edge to the sloth.
Oh, interesting. Any particular reason?
Well, tortoises can't swim, Hayley.
And there you have it.
There we have it. The sloth wins. Right. This should hopefully give us some dinosaurs.
To run, swim, and cycle over 50 kilometres, the sloth edges it by a drowning.
Please join me in saying farewell to the expedition team. They may never come back.
They may never come back. So we've got plenty of a big room here for something dino related. I know we're losing. Wondering what else to put in that block there. So I'm thinking if we stick to like fossils in this building, and then we could make this building over there the aquarium, this one,
If you haven't enjoyed your visit,
this
please
one,
don't
this
mention
one
us
probably.
to your friends.
Whack it on fast forward to get the helicopter back. The radio in this is nearly as wild as GTA 5's radio. I don't think anyone beats GTA 5's radio. Okay. Something's wrong with our chopper. Ah, we have the first part of the sharp on tops.
Assistant needed in cafe. The guests are hungry.
Guests are hungry. Actually, I think I'm thinking of getting rid of these partitions here. Making them and then here we can have
Assistant needed in the gift shop. The tat won't sell itself.
the tat won't sell itself. Ah, we're up to level 1. Right, this guy needs plenty of decoration near a fossil decal. Just have like a trilobite here. Rest can be whatever we like.
Frequently asked questions. Yes, the dinosaurs are real, but they're not anymore.
Why are there no assistants? Because they're all in the gift shop. Okay. I'm taking action here. One of you get back to work. You learn English from a Canadian YouTuber 10 years ago. I've heard English is very, very difficult to learn. So managing to do it from a streamer is probably even more
Cafe
impressive.
requires assistance from assistant. Thank you.
If that's not reachable, let's move it a little bit more.
Welcome back to the show. Now, have you ever wondered whether we're living in a computer simulation? Well, Morris Pumpkinhandle, we very well may be.
Morris Pumpkin.
In his yet-to-be peer-reviewed thesis, Pumpkinhandle claims that we're living in a live-service, free-to-play, massively multiplayer arcade beat-em-up flight simulator, citing evidence such as the existence of violence and the ability for planes to fly as proof. A simulation. Can you imagine? Anyway, here's another song from the soundtrack. Wait, what?
Attention, the expedition team are leaving now. Please say goodbye and good riddance.
We are really not making much money, which is a very big problem. Bye, Sheriff. We'll see you on Sunday.
Announcement. The museum has a new exhibit, but we don't know what it is yet.
It's the next piece of the sharp on tops. Not really donating very much. We'll need to diversify our gift shop. Which carpet did we go to? The creepy orange? No, it can't be that one. That one. There we go.
Guests are reminded that new exhibits may show signs of wear and or tear. They're not that new.
Ah, the Boulder-Dillo skeleton.
The expedition team are back from the Bone Belt. Find anything old?
This is a very chill game. After a relatively stressful day, this has been very relaxing.
Assistant needed in cafe. The guests are hungry.
Soft on the inside, crunchy on the outside. Armadillos. Ah, gee. No one in their right mind would eat an armadillo. There again. Requires she to be in his right mind.
Expedition team leaving for thorough investigation. They may be some time.
I can't imagine an armadillo is that tasty to eat in the first place. Like, why would you even want to eat an armadillo? Like, there's nothing really... It's not meaty, is it? It's not like an animal that I even imagine would taste nice. Neither are tarantulas. I suppose that's a very good point. I suppose tarantulas are not an animal you would think tastes nice, but people still eat them.
Gift shop requires an assistant. You work in retail now. The expedition team are back from the Bone Belt. Find anything old?
I think what we'll do is we'll just have like a area here. Ah. The rest of the sharp on tops. We do need to find the rest of the Boldadillo. So we were talking about people eating tarantulas, among other things.
No! Get back! Get this man a cold drink and a chair to sit at. His blood's gone lumpy and his moustache has fallen off. Witness supernatural mysteries too ridiculous to believe. Thursdays at 9 on live TV. Somewhere.
This satellite is pretty
Guests
cool.
are reminded that I don't know where things are. I am...
We'll stick to the fossils. Ah, the rest of the Boldadillo. Cute. Thinking we're gonna need some like children's areas in this as well. Kind of. What was the flooring we used for
Assistant to the cafe. That's where you work now.
Oh. It cannot have a slight angle. It must be an enormous one. So I guess we can put some window blocks in.
Gift shop requires an assistant.
Ah, you're in Germany
You work in
walking.
retail now.
I should at some point go to Germany, considering I'm a history teacher. I do not sprechen Deutsch. this will be another. I think whatever recent update they've done has messed up some aspects of the game. Still not making much profit. This is terrible.
Should buy tickets before entry and then get on with it.
It says I've got 12 viewers, but only Walking with Birds and She are talking. You know, other people can talk in chat, you know.
Cafe requires assistance from assistant. Thank you.
Maybe I just realised I've got no seating areas anywhere here. I just like talking to annoy you, Fletch.
Expert required to restore exhibit.
But that much I
You're
already
the
knew.
expert.
Let's put a bit of a seating area in this next room, since there isn't anywhere else.
Assistant to gift shop. Sell, sell, sell.
Don't be ganging up on me, you two.
News now of claims made by Dr. Marion Mopsicle.
Right. Yeah,
that
I was
humans
talking
will soon be
specifically
able
to Walking
travel
Birds and
between
Sheep.
galaxies in seconds, just as soon as she invents a craft capable of bending time and space. At a press conference earlier today, she informed an empty room that if her research continues at the same blistering pace as her previous 20 years of experimentation, humankind should be ensconced on a new habitable world weeks, if not months, before the universe implodes on itself and all life ceases to exist. Who said there's no hope for the human race?
Ah, the Flapperdackle.
Expedition team returning from Bone Belt.
Actually, before I put that in... Yes, I know. Always complaining about staff that needed some workshop. Let's build an
Please excuse
interactive.
the exhibit that requires restoration. I'm pretending it's not there.
Ah. Let's try that again.
Assistant needed in cafe. The guests are hungry.
And I'm gonna guess I need someone with workshop experience. Let's see what this new applicant says. No, I don't believe it was 100% scavenger. And honestly, I think that sort of claim that Horner made was complete bollocks. I mean, fundamentally, any carnivore will scavenge. It's just the way carnivores are. Like, let us actually do this. Yeah, any carnivore will scavenge. To have this derisory idea that T-Rex did nothing but scavenge?
You may leave the museum with vast knowledge, or a single fact, or nothing at all.
I just think it's a almost preposterous statement to have. I mean, this is the same person who thinks that the only reason Triceratops has horns and a frill is so that it doesn't confuse other members of animal species with itself. Like, okay then. I just, like, as I've grown older, I've really come to not really,
Assistant needed.
not like
shop.
him, but
The
I
tap won't
just,
sell itself.
I don't value him as a member of the paleontology community. Let's just say that. I think he's just a bit of an idiot, and he says some really stupid stuff, and I think a lot of the time as well, he just says stuff in order to be deliberately controversial. That's the only reason why I can think he would honestly think that T-Rex was nothing but a scavenger. It's because he just wants to be contrarian and controversial.
Assistant to the cafe. That's where you work now.
Okay. We need to... Ah, there is someone here who has a mechanic thing. Right, you work in there.
And now we go live to 2 Point Harbour, where we're joined by self-taught historian Claire Muzzlehammer. Tell us about your discovery, Claire.
Hello, Joe.
Hi, Haley. You won't believe it, but I found the remains of the Mary Tulip. You know, that famous warship that sank centuries ago. And what's really amazing is that it still has a working cafeteria and a gift shop.
Truly incredible. Whatever next? Guided tours given by clueless youths dressed in period garb?
Wait, how did you know?
Visited it last week, Claire. I wish someone had sunk that segment. That's it for today, listeners. Thanks for bearing with me.
Aha! Our interactive display for the Sprogs. There was some dimpled flooring around. Industrial. I swear I've got like a dimpled. Ah, there we go. Dimpled brown. I want it to look like that rubberized flooring you get around stuff, just in case you know, the kids fall off it and try to break themselves. You know what children are like.
Guests for the screening of Perilous Spandex in Theatre 4 are reminded that this is still not a cinema.
Perilous Spandex. Okay. Near any prehistory exhibit. Well, that's good because we have one in storage. I assume. Oh, I was about to say. I assume there's supposed to be a sharp on top, but it doesn't quite have the right head, does it? Oh, the swerve situation. Yeah, let's quickly talk about
Prehistoric items have been here for thousands of years. I know the feeling.
Where do I begin? Obviously, we as a channel, we have a certain view on Swerve, or at least I do, because Swerve actually blocked Triclaw Gaming on Twitter, at least. And I believe it was because I called him out for spreading misinformation.
Cafe requires assistance.
And he didn't appreciate that, and he blocked the channel. Which is fine, you know, it's neither here nor there. But the stuff that Gaming Beaver has said today, it doesn't surprise me in the least, you know. I'm trying to be diplomatic about it, because a part of me also thinks that I do wonder why Gaming Beaver has decided to do this now. Because it's not like Swerve hasn't been doing this sort of stuff for a while. Like, Swerve's been making clickbaity thumbnails and doing some really shady crap for
Yes,
a
are
while.
reminded that they don't know what they're talking about.
And I'm curious as to what sort of tipped Beaver over to doing something. I don't watch Gaming Beaver. Like, literally, his video on Swerve is the first video of his I've ever watched. And I only watched it because I was curious about what's been going on. So, but from what I understand, he's not the sort of person who would do this just because of, just to make drama happen. So, I'm curious as to what spawned it off. As much as I don't
Gift shop requires an
like
assistant.
Swerve,
You work in retail now.
don't necessarily think this was potentially the right thing to do.
New to the Cheesy Gubbins family of snacks.
That being said,
Cheesy Gubbins Zero. 0 calories, 0 cheese. 0
efforts.
actual points.
as I was saying, Swerve doesn't also seem to be the sort of person who would accept being criticized in any way. I mean, when I criticized him for making clickbaity thumbnails and spreading misinformation, he decided to blog me. So he also doesn't seem like the sort of person you could actually have a nice conversation with, or at least a fair conversation. Someone had to do it. Yeah, Zhao, I suppose that's a good point. Like, he has been doing this for a while, has Swerve. There's some things I also know that he's done that I can't talk about for various reasons.
Assistant to the cafe. That's where you work now.
Which kind of adds to... This is stuff that Beaver hasn't spoken about, because obviously Beaver didn't know. But there is some stuff I do know that Swerve has done, which is equally as shitty, let's just put it like that. And you know, no one is perfect. But I do think that stealing people's ideas... And some people have said, oh, well, Beaver doesn't own the idea of doing a Jurassic News thing. No, he doesn't own the idea. But if arguably the biggest dinosaur YouTuber decides to do it, and then you make your own one straight after, in exactly the same style, commissioning the same person
but we can't account for your family and friends.
to make the same animation for it. I think that is theft. You're stealing the way of it being done. So the people defending Swerve at the moment by claiming, oh, well, Beaver doesn't own that style. No, he doesn't. But it is a bit suspicious. Yeah, giving credit is polite. I mean, if you're basing the idea of off what someone else has done, give credit. It's why in the recent video I did on rebirth animals, I did use some rendered interpretations that someone on DeviantArt had made. So I linked them in the description, and I put in the video that who had made them. You know, I think that's fair. Yeah, it sounds so fake when he said he had that planned for 2 years. I honestly don't think so. Swerve very clearly is the sort of individual who knows how to manipulate YouTube systems to make as much money as he can off of the kids that watch his stuff. This is why he makes 8, 9, 10-minute long videos about 2 screenshots. Whereas the rest of us we would probably
Assistant
just put
needed
the
in
screenshot
cafe.
in a community
The guests
post and
are
have done with
hungry.
it. Or do a short on it, you know. But he does it because you have to meet a certain minute requirement on YouTube in order to get adverts onto the video. So it is all about money. As unfortunately most things are in life. It is about money. One thing I would say is I do feel bad for Swerve in some respects. By all accounts, apparently he's just had surgery for something, and this is probably not helping his recovery, and I feel sorry for him in that way. That no one likes to be dealing with this sort of shit when they're not feeling 100%. Irrespective of how what I think about him,
Guests are
I can at
reminded that
least have
dinosaur
some
bones
empathy
used to be
to that
surrounded by dinosaur.
situation. Oh, we have a dilemma. Oh no! As the sun beats down on the expedition crew, some of the team demand a break to soak up some rays. Cover up and carry on, or soak away. I think we should cover up and carry on. After brief sulking, the team carry on schedule, frequently remarking on the unusual heat. Good thing they didn't stop. We could have killed our staff. That would have been unfortunate. I kind of prefer this to the hexagons.
Assistant to gift shop. Sell, sell, sell.
He often talks about personal struggles, but it never gets better. I mean, everyone does have personal struggles.
Expedition team returning from Bone Belt.
You know, I've been going to therapy and having counselling a while now. No one is exactly the same, and you know you can't question it or whatever. Near an info stand. He's one of the 7 sins, greed.
Cafe requires assistance from assistant. Thank you.
I don't think it's deliberate. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt in that regards. I think Swerve is kind of... He makes me think of those people you hear that win the lottery and then go absolutely nuts and end up going bankrupt because they don't necessarily know how to handle the money. And that does remind me of Swerve. Like, he became overwhelmingly... It seems like he became overwhelmingly popular overnight as a result of his content on Camp Cretaceous, which, you know, all the power to him. I couldn't give 2 shits about the show, but he became extraordinarily popular as a result of that show, and it's earned him money, and I assume
Museum
as a
staff
result of
may
that
not
he
listen to the
decided
radio while working.
he
It's
decided
above
to
our pay grade.
make
Apparently.
YouTube his job. And the minute you make something your job, obviously that it then becomes important to earn as much money as possible, and you probably do end up then slipping into, shall we say, bad YouTuber habits. And YouTube is not easy. YouTube is very stressful. As I have said this many times before. Like it's extraordinarily difficult and takes a lot of time and a lot of patience, and it can be very frustrating a lot of the
Shop
time.
requires an assistant. You work in retail now.
And in that regards, I can definitely understand trying to make it as easy as possible. But, like I say, I'm just trying to give benefit of the doubt, because I think it's important to to at least try and do that. Yeah, as you say, Joe, like, yes, all these things being true, but directly copying people's work, clickbaity thumbnails and clickbaity titles, spreading misinformation,
Cafe requires assistance from assistant.
that is
Thank you.
just kind of scummy. No other word for it. It's not spreading misinformation, it's spreading positivity. Well, this might explain why he blocked the channel after I had an argument with him about me criticizing Dominion. And there was something in that Beaver video that really did hit me the wrong way when
Sir Nigel Bickleworth on
Advert.
2 Point Radio. This is 2 Point Radio, and I'm your host,
the bar conductor.
Nigel Bickleworth. Hold the applause. We haven't the time. Today's show is positively spilling over with charm, whimsy, and all-around goodness. Here's a sharp little number to cleanse the palate and focus the mind. Enjoy.
Expedition complete. So, what's in the box?
As I was saying before the advert interrupted us, yeah, so me and Swerve first came to blows after I responded to one of his Twitter posts where he went on about Dominion
Exhibit
being
requires restoration. It really is a shambles.
but basically I was critical of his opinion that Dominion was like the best movie ever, and that he had gone to see it 12 times or some stupid figure like that. And I just said I thought it was a terrible movie. I thought it was the worst of the whole bunch. I didn't say that he was wrong for thinking it was good. I just said that in my view it's the worst of the lot of them. And he responded really negatively to that. His response was to argue with me and basically say that Michael Crichton would have loved it. And all the usual stuff that Dominion defenders will trot out. And that kind of told me
If
everything
you're
I
unable
needed to
find
know
a
about him.
donation stand, feel free to give your money directly to
But
me.
that bit in the Gaming Beaver video today where he was talking to that other YouTuber and he was like, "Oh, I speak to people about Dominion and talk to them, and then after I talk to them, they watch it again and they suddenly love the film." Like he's like, "Oh, I don't mean to sound cocky." You don't sound cocky, Swerve. You sound like a dick. You know, people are entitled to their opinions, and if they don't like the movie you like, that's not an issue, just let people have their opinions. And I'm sorry, but again, when I'm not going to say you're wrong for liking Dominion, but what I will say is, if you like Dominion, I would love to have a conversation with you so you can tell me why. Because I think there's so many problems.
Yes, I'm reminded that fossils are not boring, just dusty.
Legitimately can't understand. I legitimately don't understand why people think it's the best. That's not me being a cunt, for want of a better phrase. Excuse my French. I'm just baffled because to me I can't see anything in it that's worthwhile defending. But, you know, I would be willing to have a conversation. I would love to have a conversation with Swerve and actually talk to him about Dominion properly and kind of have an open and frank discussion. But he would never do that because his position is you have to agree with him.
Assistant to gift shop. Sell, sell, sell.
The script does suck. And fundamentally, if you're going to watch a film, I think that's the most important thing. Like, if the story of the film is terrible, then it's a terrible film. Like, you can put all the best people in the world in it, and it can have the best effects, but if the story is shit, then what's the point? I like the new movies, I wouldn't defend them though, plus I'm certainly of the opinion the original is better. Yeah. It is, exactly, Rob, it's important to tolerate other people's opinions. Especially about films and stuff, because they are opinions, there's no objective fact about them. You know? You can't, no one can say for dead certain anything about them. Swerve does seem to feel that his opinion is the truth,
not an enraging
which
experience.
you can't do. Should probably put an information board for this guy. But as I said, like, I don't hate Swerve so much that I wouldn't be willing to sit down and have a discussion with him about it. No, this is the sort of person I am. I like to discuss and have conversation and argue. Not necessarily argue, but have differences of
There's
opinion.
a crate on the helipad. Oh, and the expedition.
He would never have that conversation. Ah, the head of the Flapperdax.
Safely. Also good news.
Making so little money. Staff wages 7,337. Why is staff costing me so much money?
If you are like me, and for this exercise
assistants.
we'll assume that you are, then you'll have noticed countless public spaces catering themselves shamelessly to children. A climbing wall at the bank, a ball pit at the bistro, spring-loaded grizzly bears swinging with reckless abandon outside the supermarket. Won't someone stop thinking of the children?
Part of the issue, I think, with the new films is like the Star Wars films, new people in charge, changing the directions, but that's an issue from the films we present. But yeah, I mean, Fletch, you sound like my finance officer at work whenever I work. I don't know if that's a good or a bad
On
thing.
exhibit. It's no longer presentable.
Okay. You don't understand. He studies the law while you sleep, eat, etc. Well, what law? I mean, studies the law. There are 6 movies, 2 books. If you want to include beta canon, that's the comics and the TV shows. Depending on your outlook of whether you consider the TV shows canon or not. I don't. I don't consider Camp Cretaceous canon at all because I think it's just it's a child's show. It doesn't have any impact on the film. Until those children's characters or
Assistant
anything
needed in the gift shop.
from them occurs in
The
live
tap
action,
won't
I'm not
sell
going to ever
itself.
consider them canon. It's as simple as that. But apart from that, there is basically no other law. He talks of studying the law as if it's like a huge, enormous thing. You want law to study? Flipping study Star Trek's law. That's something you have to study. Like, it's enormous. But Jurassic Park, you could do that in like a couple of days. Read through everything, watch everything, read the comics or get a few. Like, it's not a huge amount of material, is it? The games aren't canon, so you don't need to worry about that.
Announcement. Staff look like they need some training. Good luck to our team departing on an expedition.
How dare the
I'm sure
staff
you'll
want
need it.
paying? The staff want pay rises, but at the moment, I'm not making enough money to warrant it. You know, I think I might have to expand their staff room. Or provide them another one. Word for bloody word! What? What? I'm stuck waiting. I need to get like the fossil.
Assistant needed
bits.
in cafe. The guests are hungry.
Gosh, I love saying bloody, it's so powerful. It is a very English thing to use the word bloody as much as possible. I could put the price of the tickets. Ah. The rest of the flappy
Needed
deck.
to restore exhibit. Thank you.
More of a cross between a Parasaurolophus and a pterosaur. The Cabot Finch sacrifice. I would be very much in support of that, Robert. Let's just sacrifice Cabot Finch to the god of... I don't know. I just push him into the T-Rex enclosure, frankly. Just push him out the helicopter into the T-Rex enclosure. Swiftly followed by Claire Deering and Preferably Owen Grady.
Assistant to gift shop. Sell, sell, sell.
Like, if anyone deserved to be fed to a mosasaur, it was Claire Deering and Owen Grady. Just push them both into the lagoon and let mosasaur deal with it. Yes, she is one of those dirty smokers. Well, he's a vapor as well. I don't know if he's suddenly switched back to.
Curses, curses, curses. We've got things you can buy, and they're all absolutely awful.
Is that the right carpet? No. It's this one, isn't it? I need to have like some things to post here. Zara should have survived Jurassic World, says Guillaume.
Assistant to the cafe.
Well, I certainly don't think
That's where
she...
you work now.
Like, the level of the death that she got is kind of the thing that I would say should have been reserved for Doctor Wu or Lewis Dodgson. The death that she received is just awful. And totally unnecessary. I swapped back because of stress, so back to being a dirty smoker. Very bad. Bad, bad, bad. The poor ugly pteranodon snap. Oh. Let's not talk about that pteranodon, since apparently me suggesting it should be removed
To be less useless
from Jurassic World Evolution 3 caused a huge amount of upset from people in the community. Because apparently it's so amazing people want to defend it. Personally, I don't see that... I don't have the opinion that just because something is in the movie means it should be, like, defended, but... Fine. You want to have your shit... ugly pterosaur, so be it. I perceive Jurassic World shite as non-canon and Jurassic Park 1 and 2 as canon. I mean,
won't sell itself.
That's a very healthy way of doing it. Curious what you think about Jurassic Park 3 though, then. Walking with Birds. I saw people were giving you hassle over that. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for keeping that as a skin. Like, I think I should have made that clear in the script. That I'm all for keeping the Jurassic World Pteranodon as a skin. I just think that the default model should be either the Jurassic Park 3 one or something that was more like the Jurassic Park 3 one. Because I think the Jurassic World model is awful, and I don't think that should be the default model. And I think that was... I don't think I really made that clear in the script. So, lesson learned.
Assistant needed in cafe.
I agree that many of the Jurassic World versions of the animals do not look good. I'm getting tourists in the park now, as opposed to just guests. Delightful. I still have quite a few dinosaurs to discover. Sharp on Tops, voted the pointiest species of dinosaur by a group of clueless museum goers. Anyway, it is up to now 11 o'clock, so I'm going to stop the stream here. But thank you everyone for tuning in for this beginning of a sandbox build. I'm going to save this. Delightful. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in to have a chat. Nice talking to you, Walking with Birds. Since you're new to the channel, do consider subscribing if you'd like to tune in to today's stream. I'll be streaming again on Sunday, and we'll be playing Jurassic World Evolution 2 on Sunday. So
no climbing on bones, fossils,
you're here for the dinosaur
or other
content.
prehistoric
It'll be on Sunday.
memorabilia.
And the rest of you, thank you for tuning in. Guillermo, Robert, Zhao, Berenson was here. Monster, obviously. She as well. And One Chuff Frog was here earlier on as well. And anyone else that I haven't seen in chat, thank you for tuning in today's stream. I'll see you guys on Sunday. And wherever you are, enjoy the rest of your evenings. Stay safe. And good night.